In Farmaska Review TV program, we talked many times about the fact that soil is a living organism. Therefore, we are very happy that we can remind you again about biofertilizer developed in Slovakia, which improves soil life. Behind the creation of the product is a company in which biochemists and geologists tried to find a way to extract mineral resources ecologically. They managed to do this using bioleaching. They accidentally produced a quality biofertilizer in this process. Today, they already know that its effects start with changes in the soil. Nowadays, the soil is often degraded, and this is due to the fact that farmers used an excessive amount of agrochemicals, and thus the microbiome in the soil is negatively affected. If the soil today contains all the nutrients are there, but because the soil is dead, without microorganisms, those nutrients are not accessible, and therefore also the plants are weakened. And this leads farmers to use an even bigger amount of agrochemicals. It's kind of a vicious circle without the soil being alive. Under the microbiome, we can imagine a large number of soil microorganisms, fungi or bacteria, which are very important for the life of the soil. Thanks to the microbiome, plants can uptake nutrients from the soil. We are replicating and accelerating this process that takes place in symbiosis with microorganisms in the root system. We take natural minerals which contain valuable nutrients. We put them in pools, and there we dissolve them with bacteria. There we multiplicate the bacteria to a high amount, around 10 billion per litre. And at the same time, during the decomposition of minerals, exactly as it would happen in the root system, they produce metabolites. Metabolites are the excrements of their life. They are, for example, alcohols, like ethanol, which makes plants resistant to drought. Then there are bacteriocins, mainly from bacillus, which significantly increase plant immunity. There are various organic acids. Each bacterium secretes a different organic acid, proteins, and there are very important bioactive phytohormones, which give information to the plants that they enlarge the root system and reach deeper and cover a larger volume of minerals, which can more efficiently take water from the soil, and at the same time the bacteria themselves can change the structure of the soil. So here, for example, we have the mineral lignite, on which we have already added these bacteria. They have nutrients there, they work and decompose the mineral. And this is exactly what would happen. In a healthy root system, the bacteria in the root system would decompose the minerals, and that's how it bubbles. All these nutrients from minerals would become liquid, and the plant would uptake them nicely. Here we have the next mineral, where you can already see beautiful bubbles. I'll shake it like this. This bubbling happens because bacteria are breathing, and so the bubbling visualizes it. And by breaking down the mineral into nutrients, the mineral is already decomposed. So all these nutrients are liquid now, like liquid soil we may call it, along with those billion bacteria and an awful lot of hormones. It's also green because of the microalgae. And at the same time, if we apply it to the soil, it is visible in that soil that there are many, many bubbles. And these bubbles show that the soil became like bubbly chocolate and can absorb water beautifully, even after these rains that happened recently. Often the water stays on that soil or is washed over the surface. But if this soil would be alive, containing microorganisms, this water would soak in beautifully. This solution, full of bacteria, has already been tested by several farmers. We visited the largest fruit farm in Slovakia, in Dunajska Luzna, with 262 hectares. They grow different kinds of fruits. The dominant crop is apple trees. Others include cherries, pears, plums, peaches, blueberries, currants, and raspberries. By having a soil analysis done regularly, every 2 years, and leaf analyses each year, for the last few years we saw the trend that, despite the fact that the soil is rich on paper or saturated with those nutrients, the leaf analyses often do not correlate with it. We see a lack there. It is obvious that despite the fact that the nutrients are there in the soil, they are not available to the plants or for the trees, and they are not able to take them. We started to think more on the biological side of the functionality of that soil and the entire ecosystem. We started to deal more with bacteria, biotic components, and how to increase the proportion of humus in the soil. For this reason, we started to test more of such organic products. Not to mention that we have self-collection. As the only company in Slovakia, we have remontant strawberries till October. So the pressure is growing on us. We need to nourish the fruits in some way, so that our customers can eat them the next day. The primary effort was to improve soil life, improve the absorption of nutrients, so that the plants really get it up from the soil. Roughly from mid-May to mid-June, in 3 applications with 10% concentration, we applied the product in the irrigation here on these young cherry trees. The result is already visible. I think after the first 3 months, stronger trunks and wider, larger leaves, healthier color, annual shoots from the trunk, which are normally very rare, so we are surprised how much it is visible on these young trees already. Now we are looking at trees treated with biofertilizer, and right next to them are those without biofertilizer. They also tried the product on old cherry trees, where it seems to slowly awaken processes in the soil. At the beginning of the row, there are trees where the biofertilizer was applied, and they left the same variety in the middle without fertilizer. These, on the other hand, are not irrigated cherries. You can see at first glance that the habitus is more subtle. The branches are teary. The leaves have a slightly less vivid color, and also the overall impression for the observer is more translucent. You see more light coming through those trees. They are not so dense.